I guess I joined the club. So, my 36th recently separated from my Stubucks 33 per her request because she was unhappy. You could always go through my post history for more, but just a lack of communication and poor marriage management led us to where we are. She had all of the red flags, but I never could prove she was doing anything unfaithful. That is, until today, I was helping her clean out her father's house, who recently passed away. While we were there, we had a meeting with our son's teacher on Teams, and later on my curiosity got me hard, and I was able to get into FBI Messenger on the laptop while she was off cleaning again. I found a chat with some guy that doesn't even live in our state, and she was saying things like "miss you," calling him baby, and saying how she wanted to come see him. I'm absolutely gutted. We talked about it, and I didn't take it well. I can't believe I'm here. Welcome to the club, Cosmo. Update. Really struggling today. So I've been trying to remain cordial with my Stubucks because of our two kids. She was at least emotionally involved with another guy, but becoming more and more evident that it's more than that. I'm still friends with her on Snapchat because we just send snaps of the kids when one parent doesn't have them. We're in a group chat with some family. My cousin and his wife, my brother and his wife, and she sends a snap of herself at the airport with a company sweatshirt on that I didn't recognize. I ask what we're looking at in this snap, and she said she was in the airport eating McDonald's waiting on her flight, then deleted the snap because she meant to send it to a different group. So, I call her out on it privately, and she admits that the sweatshirt belongs to the app, and he left it there last time he visited Baltimore at his friend's, where she also was. I think the reality is that she meant to send him this snap. Needless to say, I went off on her. She keeps finding ways to delay my healing, whether it's deliberate or not. The obvious answer here is to block her on everything except an app for co-parenting, but this has just sent me on a spiral again. I ducking hate this. Update. Feel like I need some positive reinforcement today. I'm just going through the cycle again of good days, bad days. Been pretty positive for the most part, which is good and signs of some improvement. I have been very minimal contact with my Stoxy. Only contact with my Stoxas. Only contact typically is in regard to the kids and school for the kids, etc. The unfortunate part is that our son is in 2 indoor soccer leagues, so I have to see her at least twice a week right now. And when I do have to see her, I try to distance myself as best as possible. But if I see little things in passing like her on her phone, I automatically assume that she's talking to the app who doesn't even live locally to us. And maybe she's not. And I try to tell myself that to break myself out of this funk, but I'm stuck in this rut over the past couple of days. I do the normal routine stuff to better myself. Gym, hobbies, getting out of the house, dumping my focus on myself and the kiddos. But I just can't seem to break this rut. I feel stuck, and even though we're well on the road to divorce, I don't know why I feel this way still. I know that it's over, and not just in the cheating sense, but the literal end of the marriage is on the horizon, and I'm sure that I'm still grieving. I just feel like that I need some positive reinforcement. Be it support, positive stories, positive outlooks. Anything to help me break this current cycle that I'm in. Update. Is my Stubucks gaslighting me about her emotional, and probably physical, affair? So, for those who don't know my story, I, 36, was with my wife since 2004, dating marriage, and around 2019 we started going through some turmoil. She gave me a laundry list of things she was unhappy with and how she didn't want to be in a marriage anymore. My first thought was that there was another guy because I had no inclination of her unhappiness, as there was little to no communication surrounding it, and she didn't want to even try to work on it. I'm sure she was checked out long before this, but that's not necessarily the point of my story. So, through the next couple of years, I worked tirelessly to fix the wrongs and shortcomings, which she said that I did 1,000, but she still wasn't budging. I would randomly find out that she was Snapchatting while we were still together and living together, with a friend of my brother's who lives in Indiana that he met through playing Xbox. She always denied that there was anything there, etc., etc. Throughout the 2 years between 2019-2021, she gets super protective of her phone, has a rotating password on it, for work, takes it with her everywhere, constantly on it, tucking it away if I come into the room. All of those red flags. Eventually, in May 2021, we separate and I move away with the hopes of maybe reconciling in the near future after giving her some space. Before I left the home, I wanted to set some boundaries because if she was testing the waters or seeing someone else, I wanted to know because that's a zero-tolerance thing for me. She explicitly said that there wasn't, and she'd tell me if there wasn't, and she'd tell me if there was so I could move on properly. A few months later, I hear through the grapevine that this guy divorced his wife. Around that time as well, I had asked my Stubuxy what we're doing. As in, are we going to try counseling or working on us, or is this just done? And should we head towards divorce? Her only response is divorce is a scary word, okay? So divorce was tabled, and we kind of just kept on going along this path of separation marriage limbo. Moving along the timeline in NOV 2021, I discover messages between the two of them, the Snapchat friend, because Snapchat wasn't working that day, and she's calling him babe, that she missed him, wishes she could drive to see him, etc. I find out later on that she's telling my cousin that I found messages that I blew out of proportion. However, like a few weeks or so later, she accidentally sent our group chat a picture of her wearing a sweatshirt that belonged to him. Obviously, in my head, I consider all of this to be cheating. Even though we were separated, we did have a set boundary about this, and she lied about it. She even went as far as telling me that I was insecure, needed therapy, which I was already in, and made me feel like a villain for ever questioning her integrity. I had kind of a bad day recently and went off on her about the cheating and how I didn't deserve this. Yes, I know, no contact, and all that she could say was that her and I have very different opinions on this, on the opposite ends of the spectrum, and she can't even comment correctly. So, now I feel like I'm crazy again. Isn't this cheating? I feel dumb even asking a subreddit this question. Update. Things cheaters say to you. Let me start off by saying that my Stubuxy and I are definitely on the road to divorce, so this might be a moot point for me, but not so much for people still going through it, even though I kinda am too. Only like 5 months out from D-Day. But it's really wild to me, some of the crap that cheaters say, and I'm sure it's to justify themselves so they can sleep at night. To this day, my ex still doesn't see what she's done as cheating, and that it's my version versus her truth. Her truth, low. And she'll say whatever you want to tell yourself is fine, but I'm not defending myself to you. I'll never forget when I called her out on her bull poop on D-Day, and her reply was in my mind. We were done. I know that the end goal for us all betrayed is to let go and move on, but some days are harder than others. Right now, she's gonna put on her best self for the guy she ultimately left me for, and that hurts to hear about no matter how hard I try to keep that out of my scope. It always seems to make its way back to me. Guess I'm feeling a little slighted and vulnerable this morning. Sorry for the rant. You update. I'm officially free. It's been a long, winding road from her dropping a 3-page letter on me about everything that she didn't like about us to wanting to find herself, all the way down to me catching her in multiple lies and manipulation and gaslighting. And oh yeah, that long-distance friend of hers she told me not to worry about, that she met through my brother playing Xbox with. That guy that she cheated on me with, that old chestnut. After all of that, today is the day. Divorced was official as of 5 minutes ago. To new beginnings, may they be more fruitful and pleasant than this rotten peach I've been chewing on. Update. Today, I feel like I fell back a step. Just feel like I've taken a step back or like fell back a step or something. Had to see my ex-wife at a shared kids' school event, and I feel like every time I see her, she looks happy and together and complete, despite the fact that she did what she did and continues to be with the same app. Naturally, as you'd imagine, she sees no wrongdoing on her part. Did a lot of blame, shifting and lying and Darvo. I just feel like I'm in a funk. I guess the granddaddy trigger of them all is her, of course. Seeing her, interacting with her, etc. in any way seems to set me back a little, which is why I typically am very low to no contact with her, minus the kids. But sometimes I slip up and let her see my vulnerability or that I'm in my feels about the whole thing. It's been a little over a year since D-Day, and I know I'm in a better place mentally and physically than I was before, and I most certainly do not want her back, even if she owned up to what happened. Just hate nights like these, where I feel like I can't just claw myself out of this hole I'm in or funk that I'm in. Update. My mom is cheating on leaving my dad the same way that my ex-wife did to me. Kind of a vent session, so forgive me. Going back to Thanksgiving. My mom has been talking to me mostly via text about how unhappy she's been with my dad for years, which has really been no shock to me. However, as the holidays progressed, my dad caught wind of the divorce separation talks, and on 9, my dad sent a bunch of us a text about how mom plans to leave him and she's already been seeing talking to another guy, aka monkey branching. Apparently, my mom has been talking to this guy for months and months online only, and we all think it's a scam type of deal or he's using her. But my mom's packing her bags and planning to leave by the end of March to go across the country to be with him. She was talking to me about it one day and was trying to justify why she did what she did, despite knowing this is the exact thing that happened to me and my ex-wife and partner of 18 years. Something I'm still recovering from but doing much better with lately. So I capped it off by telling her that I'm not picking sides and I wish her the best, but how she did this is unforgivable and her trying to justify it to me of all people is wrong. Told her she's preaching to the wrong choir and that she went about this all wrong. But I would be remiss to say that this didn't open up some old wounds. Hearing her trying to sing her praises about how this new guy loves her and treats her right and she did it for ABC reasons. It just didn't sit right with me because it reminded me of D-Day and the early months of trying to move past it and the insensitive and heinous things my ex said to me to justify her actions while never admitting that it was cheating infidelity. Redditor's reactions. Next story after. Redditor 1. She doesn't even know that guy. These he loves me stories from online-only relationships crack me up. The wayward spouse has no idea who that person is. They only have an image in their mind of who they think they are. It's a self-deluding fantasy. The guy across country could be a drugged-up, drunken buffoon who says nice thing on the internet and will take your mom for every penny. As for your mom, sorry, but I would take sides. I'd tell her straight up her infidelity is completely wrong and that as a result of her actions, she's sacrificed her relationship with you, and then I'd cut her off completely, full, and say, answer. Yeah, I agree. My ex is gonna deal with that reality in time too. As for my mom, she's already feeling the result of her actions. A lot of the family has already given her the business about it, and I haven't spoken to her since that last conversation, and that was probably a month ago now. Redditor 2. I am sorry that your family is going through this. I would suggest that if this is hitting you hard, that you do some IC for your mental health. Internet people can only show one side of themselves, which is the best side. Once your mom moves to be with him, she will get to see all sides of him. At this time, she will either want to move back, she will stick it out in miserly, she will move into a small apartment by herself, or she might actually be happy. 3 out of those 4 things could happen and put more strain on your well-being. Please protect yourself and your father. Answer. Yeah, I know it. Just venting more or less, I guess this time. I actually have my next IC session next Monday. Thanks for the kind words. Redditor 3. Nothing justifies cheating. My mom also had an affair, but it was with one of my dad's best friends for 5 years. After my dad decided to divorce her, she decided to marry the app. She's been miserable ever since, and my dad, after dealing with depression for a while, is finally doing better. Hopefully, you and your dad can find that happiness again and know cheating is 100s on the cheater. Story 2. Signed my lease yesterday. Wife of 15 years and partner of 20 had a year-long affair. D-Day was Mother's Day this year. Lies, deception, gaslighting, and manipulation when I picked up on the friendship. Nearly 9 months, and questioned it repeatedly before it was forced to light by mutual friends, and her wall of lies came crashing down. For the sake of my kids and my invested life, I worked to resolve, understand, and forgive if she would do so as well and invest back into our marriage. I knew it was a long shot. Take over my lease on June 1st. All utility appointments are set up and the clock is ticking. Caught her timing with 2 other guys in October, waiting until after Christmas to tell the kids. This is not what I want, but it is what I have to do. I feel free in a way, but fully know I am going to have a hard road ahead during the divorce and being alone when my kids are not with me. Update. Cheating wife caught again, and I am done being cooperative. Quick recap. My wife had a year-long starting as early as June 2021. I suspected her friendship with a friend's husband was more than just that in July, but I could not prove anything. Over the course of the year, our relationship continued to worsen. Blocked me on social media. She opened a separate bank account in Jan 2022, moved into our spare room in February, and went out more and more with her best friend, also going through a divorce. I spiraled and dealt with a lot of anxiety. Was called controlling and told I don't trust her, always wanting to know where she was. I got into therapy, but the feeling was always there. On Mother's Day of 2022, her hand was forced to finally tell me and confess due to the guy's wife being told by friends. Even then, she lied and said she was tired of lying about it. The manipulation and gaslighting was off the charts the more I look back on it. Everything, including conversations with his wife, indicated that it was almost exclusively emotional and did not involve actual time. But that doesn't matter to me. It's cheating and an affair. We were together 20 years, married for 15 with 2 kids. I wanted to try and salvage it before throwing it all away. Apparently, more than her. We did counseling. We got a little better and then reverted back. On October 2nd, 22, I found more evidence of 2 other guys on her phone. By the end of October, I informed her I was done and we would be getting divorced. She claimed to have ended all contact with the new guy. She was using a private messenger designed to hide things, which she deleted and blocked him across social media. I contacted him and he said he would end it as well. My son's birthday was in October, then the holidays. So after initially asking her to move out and her pushing back, I finally decided that I was the one that wanted a fresh start. We agreed to live together until the end of the year, and then till the end of the year, and then tell the kids, after which I would move out. I made a lot of compromises. We choose to do mediation. I agreed to continue to pay our mortgage, utilities, insurance, and cell phone bills, as they all amount to more than she brings home in a month. She would buy all groceries, pay her car payment, and contribute 25s of the old household bill. I accumulated moving and upfit cost for a new place to the tune of $15, locked into a new lease, etc. This was all done with the understanding that there were no current affairs and that the most important thing was our kids. Well, I discovered Monday that her relationship with the guy I discovered and contacted in October actually never ended, which means that in the final weeks of our marriage counseling before I ended it and subsequent negotiations about separating, it was all a giant lie again that was carried on. This entire time, she has still not disclosed her finances as of yet, dragged her feet on custody schedules, and not scheduling mediator meetings as we agreed. It has been all very frustrating. So Monday night, I informed her that I know she is still seeing him and has been, and that I am done supporting her. I contacted the guy's wife this time, so she knows, and yesterday I emailed her a list of the bills, dues dates, login information, and total due. She called yesterday crying that she can't afford it and that she won't even be able to buy food, said she won't pay the bills in March. To which I replied, fine, you will just owe double in April. My only concern is the mortgage, as it affects my credit score. I have reached my breaking point. I was manipulated again. No more. She can sit in the dark or have her affair partner pay the bills. The kids can stay with me if she can't take care of them. I will not contribute another dollar to maintain her lifestyle until she provides full disclosure and we have an agreement in place or ordered by a court to do so. She has until the end of the week before I retain my lawyer and go down the road of the courts, even if it cost me another $10 to do so. Redditors, reactions. Redditor 1, I would make sure you document that she agreed to double what she owes for legal reasons because an emotional call can be dismissed in court. Text chains or emails are best. I won't be shocked that she is hiding money. Also, I would wait till he leaves her and then she really breaks down and begs to return. I'm sorry, Up. I hope you are hitting the gym and talking to a therapist and working on your hobbies and spending time with your kids. Karma is coming for her. Op answer. I am documenting everything that I can via text or email. She keeps trying to call, and I am ignoring her and making her text to keep things on record. She can beg all she wants, never going back. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Redditor 2. I am sorry you are in this position. You are wise to lawyer up as quick as possible. She was planning to leave, and you are plan B. You called her out before she was ready to bail and is panicking. Keep the pressure up and I wish you well. Op answer. She, 100, never expected me to go because she knows I am loyal to a fault. She is going to learn that I have my breaking points. I will no longer be her cushion to maintain the lifestyle she wants. Redditor 3. Tell her to ask her app for the money if she is crying poor. She created the situation so she can fix it, and you are absolutely doing the right thing, Op. Op answer. I told her if she ever wants another dime, then disclose your finances and schedule meditation. Or get one of the married dudes you're sleeping with to buy your groceries. Redditor 4. It sounds like you went above and beyond so that you can honestly tell yourself and the kids that you did everything you could. What happens now is all on her. Even if she tells you all that she's already done, don't believe for a second that it will stop. Push forward with the divorce. Don't let her drag it out. Do everything through lawyers or third parties if you can, and record any interactions you have, email, text, audio, or video if you can do it legally. When she gets desperate, she won't think twice about lying about you. You already know she's comfortable lying to you. When she tries to use the kids to get you to reconcile, just remember how that went last time. Op answer. I am fully at peace that I did all I could and that she chose to just try and take advantage as long as she could. That's on her conscience now. I do live in state where I can legally record. I have done so several times. At not point do I believe that she hasn't lied. It has happened to so many times until I press her on it and the truth comes out that I have lost count. Even as soon as this week, it is her default.
They're firing on me. Reloading. Broke a rival shield.